Now, following the fire outbreak at Akosombo substation, top management of Ghana Grid Company Limited are holding an emergency on-site meeting with the Minister for Energy to assess at first hand the extent of the damage caused by the fire and evaluate the things to do. We'll bring updates on the fire soon. We will be speaking to Samuel, who is with the team from Gridco and the Energy Ministry. Hello, Samuel. Thanks for joining me. Tell me what's happening so far.
Welcome. So this morning, a whole entourage made up of the Minister for Energy and then managers of the sector, power agencies, the Gridco and VRA, and a lot of engineers and other dignitaries were present here at the Akosombo Power Station to assess damage. Early on, the minister had a closed-door meeting with all the engineers and all those who matter before coming to address the media after checking the extent of damage at the station. And what he said first is that this is unusual, and a damage of such magnitude has never happened before, even though they've reported some few issues in the past. But this he described as an unusual, and for that matter, as early as possible, he set 7-member committee chaired by Engineer Mona, who is a board chairman for the VRA, to investigate and to ascertain what the cause of the damages. He said it was an explosion in one of the offices close to the substation, and then it gathered fire. And so for him, he said he wouldn't prejudge, he wouldn't want to say it's somebody who did that, but then he wants deep investigation to be conducted to ascertain the truth. For now, it seems it will take some time for some areas that are off to get power. According to the minister, the engineers are working 24 hours around the clock, and for that matter, they will be in 2 gangs. One will do in the day, other will come in the night. And what they want to do first is to restore the first phase, which means not everybody is going to get the power, but it will be gradual. They are looking at a period of 5 days and few above to restore power. And that if it will even take importing power, he will do it. We are talking about 100 megawatts of power lost, and for the minister is huge. It's huge, and quick action needs to be taken to restore power.
Okay, can you tell us the extent of the damage if you're aware?
Okay, let me say the station, the entire station, you see the roof blown off, and it's obvious they can't work within that area where I think they used to control the power. There are offices. It's like an offices around the substation, which is of course the physical panels you'll be seeing, but those offices are blown off.
Okay, thank you so much for speaking to us. We'll contact you in our subsequent bulletins for an update.
Yeah.
On to some other stories from the Large General Hospital. Hospital President John Dramani Mahama has inspected works on the Lad General Hospital. And during the tour, he interacted with engineers and workers on site. The Lad General Hospital, which forms part of the government's broader health infrastructure plan, is aimed at expanding access to quality health care and strengthening Ghana's healthcare system. On Friday, which is today, the president was received by a member of parliament for Lada de Kotopon, Rita Odole Soa, who expressed her appreciation for the work done so far. My colleague Shadrach Odamiejari monitored the visit and joins us for more.
The staff for a good job. The hospital is progressing quite well, and we want to make sure that it doesn't stall and that it continues and is delivered on due date. The contractor assures us that by November 2027, we should be able to commission this hospital. Like the minister said, this hospital is important because since it was demolished and was no longer serving patients, all the patients who used to come here now go to the Rich Hospital, or they go to Lekma or to Kolebu. And so it is important that we get this hospital back in a better shape to provide an additional 160 beds. Currently, people complain that when they have emergencies, they are not able to get sufficient beds. So this hospital will add 160 more beds. In the meantime, we have terminated the contract on the police hospital. We're going to re-award it so that we can finish it quickly and then create more bed space. Accra is a fast-growing city, and so the population demands quality health care. And so we'll do everything possible to make sure that we complete this project so that we can afford a good quality health care for our people. In the meantime, we discussed with the minister to see how we can sort out the issue of emergency hospital beds when people have an accident or they have a medical incident, most of the time at night. Finding a place for them to be treated has been difficult. And so there's the emergency center which was built in Bema Camp during the COVID period. We're going to repurpose it so that it has beds for handling only emergencies. And so if there's an emergency and a person is not accepted at any of these hospitals, the emergency center in Bema Camp will be there. The emergency nurses and doctors will be there to stabilize the patient. Once the patient is stabilized, then we can move them to a regular hospital. And so the ministry is taking action to prevent needless deaths due to the no-bed syndrome. But last 2 weeks, we launched the primary health care program. And I think that that program is very important because it will prevent people from coming to hospital and be hospitalized because it has a preventive aspect to it. It will educate people how to look after their health so that you don't always have to come to hospital when you need a cure. It's better, they say prevention is better than cure. And so the primary health care would check your blood pressure, it will check your sugar level, it will check all the free breast cancer screening and all that, so that we're able to catch things at an early stage, so that you don't need to be hospitalized, so that we can ease the pressure that currently our health workers and our health facilities are facing. So contractor, thanks for a good job. We'll be back here in November 2027 to take over this hospital. And
now let's move on to some education stories. The Teacher Trainees Association of Ghana has declared a nationwide protest involving teacher trainees and newly trained teachers impacted by the 2022 to 2024 recruitment backlog, pointing to inadequate job opportunities as the main concern. The association has scheduled this demonstration for Friday, 24th April 2026. Protests will be held across all colleges of education nationwide, with a major gathering set to take place in Accra. In a statement issued on Thursday, April 23, the Teacher Trainees Association of Ghana National Secretariat said the planned action is driven by the rising backlog of trained teachers and what it described as insufficient recruitment opportunities provided by the authorities. The association explained that the decision came after broad consultations highlighting the urgent need for a more responsive and inclusive teacher recruitment system. The association also noted that it has worked closely with the relevant security agencies to ensure the protest is conducted peacefully and in an orderly manner across the country. It added that all 49 colleges of education are expected to take part, urging members to demonstrate with discipline, unity, and a sense of urgency. According to the statement today, Friday, April 24, 2026, has been set for the nationwide demonstration, which will be held across the colleges of education with a central convergence in Accra. Now I have my colleague Vanessa Edutum-Boatin on our previous story to tell us more. Hello, Vanessa. What can you report?
Natasha, good afternoon, if you can hear me. I am currently at the Independence Square here in Accra, where hundreds of teacher trainees under the Teacher Trainees Association of Ghana are expected to gather for what they describe as a nationwide demonstration themed from degrees to frustration. Now, the protest, which officially began today, 12:30 p.m. This afternoon, is aimed at drawing government attention to what the trainees call the growing frustration among newly trained teachers over delayed recruitment and the failure to restore automatic posting. So the demonstrators say government has not fulfilled its promise of automatic postings for trained teachers, a policy they believe would have ensured a smoother transition from college to the classroom. Now, they are also protesting the Ministry of Education's recent decision to recruit only 7,000 teachers, describing the number as grossly inadequate, considering the backlog of graduates from 2022, 2023, and 2024 badges. So according to the TTA, this limited recruitment sets what they call a bad precedent for teacher education and then threatens the future of thousands of qualified teachers waiting to be posted. So their planned route is from Independence Square here to Jubilee House and then to the Ministry of Finance, where they intend to present their petition to government. So the Ministry of Education defended this decision, the posting, explaining that they had a financial clearance from the Ministry of Finance to recruit graduate teachers. So they are mainly to serve in deprived and underserved communities across the country. So this is what is going on, and this is what the demonstration is about today. So the demonstrators are gathering right here at the Independence Square, and then once they are gathered, they will start making headway through to the Jubilee House.
Okay, thank you so much for joining us. That was my colleague Vanessa Edutum-Boatin at the Independence Square, where the protest from the Teacher Trainees Association of Ghana is happening. We've come to the end of the bulletin. My name is Natasha Jamra. Good afternoon, Ghana continues. Desmond, take over.
Thank you very much, Natasha, for bringing us the news update. So you're still watching Good Afternoon Ghana here on Metro TV, coming to you live from our studios here at North Region, streaming across our social media platforms on Facebook, Metro TV Ghana, also on DSTV channel 277 and live on radio 94.1 FM. We'll take a break now. While we come back, we're talking malaria. We've got some education to do on that, and then we'll get to speak to Professor Smart Sapon on the research about who succeeds President John Dramani Mahama as the flag bearer for the NDC into the 2028 election. So stay with us. We'll be back shortly.
Hey buddy, it's me Azar.
Yeah, me now they see. Hey, you don't look fresh. Oh.
Hey.
With your label today, me.
Wait till you see what's inside me.
Azar, freshly made inside and out for greater coverage and colors that last longer and beautify your walls, spaces and places. Azar, no size. Go ahead. Buy now. Azar, #1 from Azar Group since 1921.
Looking for comfort, convenience, and class all in one place? Welcome to Stay Easy Apartments on Conference Center, where modern living meets exceptional service. Whether you're staying for business or leisure, Stay Easy offers you a home away from home. Spacious and well-furnished apartments, pool, gym, and everything you need to relax and feel at ease. Planning a meeting, workshop, or special event? Our event grounds and state-of-the-art conference center is designed to host your events and bring your vision to life. From corporate gatherings to private functions, we provide the perfect space, supported by modern equipment and a professional team ready to assist you. At Stay Easy, your comfort and success are our priority. Book your stay or reserve your space today. Call us at 020-739-1473 or 0244-226367. Stay Easy Apartments and Conference Center. Stay easy with us.
Grab your bottle and unleash the taste of Storm Energy Drink. A bold flavor, a big attitude. Feel the vibe, own the moment. It's your time to be different. Storm Energy Drink, make your mark.
Excessive drinking can be detrimental to health. Not recommended for persons under 18 years, lactating mothers, pregnant women, and people sensitive to caffeine. This advert is FDA approved.
Hive Management Systems, in partnership with the Solid Waste Association of Ghana, invites you to the Green Go Hub official launch and fundraising event. Theme: Powering the Circular Economy with Smart Technology, with a focus on incentivizing segregation at source. Join us at the Manfi Hall Gimba Green Hill campus on Thursday, 7 May 2026 at 10 a.m. Our special guest of honor is Niayi Bonte II, Bese Manche Adonte of the Ghana State, Chairperson, Nanama Entry, Executive Secretary of the Environmental Service Providers Association. Keynote addresses will be delivered by Honorable Samuel Nate George, Minister for Communication, Digital Technology and Innovation, and Professor Nanama Brown Kluche, Chief Executive of the Environmental Protection Authority. This event is proudly endorsed and supported by the Ghana National Plastic Action Partnership, the Environmental Protection Authority, the Ministry of Environment, Science and Technology, the Ministry of Communication, Digital Technology and Innovation, the Environmental Service Providers Association, Zoom Lion Ghana Limited, and Indigo Foundation, with media support from Media General, UTV, Metro TV, MX24, and 1957 News. To register as a sponsor or donor, visit www.gringo-hub.com or call 054-342-7085. Your fundraising host and MC will be Mr. Alfredo Kanse. With strategic partnership from Globalware, the East Legon Executive Fitness Club, Blue Skies, and Margins Group, this event is powered by MTN as the official title sponsor. Be part of the movement towards a cleaner, smarter, and more sustainable future.
Right, so welcome back from the break. This is Good Afternoon Ghana on Metro TV with me, Desmond Okrekodan. So we're actually going to be talking about African Vaccination Week 2026, and I have two guests joining me. So we have this conversation to understand what exactly this week is about. So joining me is Dr. Hilda Mantebia Boy, is president of the Pediatric Society of Ghana, and also Richard Peter Iyali is a senior nursing officer in public health. They will be helping us understand what the week is about. So let's get right into it. But of course, you can join us live on Facebook, Metro TV Ghana, also on DSTV channel 277, on radio 94.1 FM. You can tune in and join us. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the program. Right, so let me begin with Doc.
Yeah.
Right, vaccination. Ma will be a kama. I mean, all of us, we've had that. But really, what's this week about, the African Vaccination Week?
It's a week where we get to highlight vaccination, what it is, the importance or the benefits, sensitize the general public about the needs of getting vaccinated. And especially for us here in Ghana now, with the HPV vaccination that we have begun giving to our girls from 9 to 14 years, is another very good time to sensitize the people, go back to it, let parents know that those who did not get vaccination during that period are still able to get the vaccination. So it's a good time for us to discuss vaccination.
Right. There's a question I would ask our public health officer here, but let me begin with you.
Okay.
A lot of people have had different experiences with vaccinations, and some may have had side effects from some of these vaccinations, and then it tends to make them think that, oh, vaccines are not good. They are not. I'm sure you encounter some of these things. What are some of the myths around vaccines that you have heard?
Commonly, people think that it is something that the white man has made to try to control all of us. They want to reduce the number of babies that we are having, so it's like a form of family planning. Those are some of the common things that people have said, but we know from the literature and also from all the agencies that do the checks on these vaccines that are given to children and adolescents, generally even some adults, that these vaccines work and they are supposed to help to build the immune system or the immunity against the diseases that they are specifically given against. So it is not a form of family planning. Indeed, there is family planning. So if you want family planning, you are able to walk into the healthcare facility and get it. But the vaccines are not for vaccination. The vaccines are not for family planning, and it's not to accomplish anybody's hidden agenda anywhere. They have been checked and they are safe, and they also work, or what we'll say they are efficacious. They actually work to help to prevent diseases. If you look at the previous, many years ago, I mean, here in Ghana, people used to give birth to 10, 20, 15, you know, one family, or even one woman could give you 10 children. And some of it was because they knew that some of the children would die if they give birth to them. So not all the 10 children will live into adulthood. And it was because of some of these infectious diseases that the children were dying. Now, what do we see? People are giving birth by choice to about 3 or 4 or 5. You don't have those very high numbers intentionally because the children are surviving. And it goes to testify about the efficacy of the vaccines in preventing these illnesses, which we would have called childhood killer diseases. Now, the children are not dying from these diseases anymore.
Thank you for helping demystify, you know, those myths. But to Richard, you step out, you engage the people, and again, still on that, because it plays a very key role. If the people are not ready to accept it, your work is not done. How do you let them know that this is not what they're thinking it is? Because as I mentioned, people share real stories. We talk about polio, we talk about other things, and say, oh, after those things happen. So how do you go by that if someone narrates a situation like that?
Thank you very much, and I want to use the opportunity to, greet all our viewers, and like to your question, just like the doctor rightly said, you know, this week, Africa Vaccination Week, is just to intensify the activities of vaccination or the immunization activity that we've been doing. You know, over the years, we've been having this series of activity just to promote the health of our newborn and even the adults.
Right.
So most people come to us during our sessions, and I took the vaccine, and this is what happened to me, this is what happened to my child. You know, everything that you take into your body, it reacts to the body. The body responds to it to get the immunity that you are looking for. And so same as vaccination. When you take the vaccine, it works the same way it's supposed to work. But then that is where it will tell you that you are exhibiting some symptoms for you to know it is stimulating the immune response that you deserve. And so you have the site where the injection was given, there will be some redness, there will be some fever, there will be some dizziness, and all these things are normal when you receive a vaccine, and they will resolve by itself within some few days. And so when they come to us at the session, we educate them. First of all, we need to educate them. Even before we give you the vaccine, we educate you and tell you what is going to be done, what is going to cause, what is going to do in the system. When you go, we tell you if you exhibit any other symptom apart from what we have said, you have to report back to us for us to manage you on the other side, what we call the adverse reaction following immunization. And so we do all those things. It's just that people these days are thinking that the white man has introduced something for we the Africans to die. And so once we are giving them vaccination, then we have the intention of killing their offspring, which is not so.
Right.
It is rather to help us improve our health system. It is to help us improve reduce our child mortality. Because gone are the days when we all know that when we go to school, it's a cis-killer disease. No, now it's no more cis-killer disease. There are many of them now. And so the ministry or the health service is trying to prevent these diseases, reducing neonatal death, reducing infant mortality. And as a result of immunization, we have achieved all these things. It has worked for us over the years.
Right.
And so when you look at when you compare the statistics and look at children who are dying gone are the days and children that are dying through vaccine preventable disease, it has gone down. Today, you hardly see people coming to the facility with polio, with measles, with yellow fever, with diphtheria. And all these things are vaccine preventable disease, which is widely available at all our public health facilities. And so it is helping achieve what we are looking for in terms of reducing infant mortality.
Right. I seen, as Doc said, we're talking about HPV. Now that's what's happening. But what are some of the other diseases that vaccines are being used to?
Currently, as part of the Africa Vaccination Week, we are trying to intensify the HPV campaign. Because when you look at the HPV campaign, last year, October, Ghana, we came on board to roll out the national HPV campaign, where we vaccinated about 1.8 million of our girl child between 9 to 14 years. People said, we won't let our daughter receive, we won't let our daughter. But the fact is that the HPV virus, or the human papilloma virus, when it affects the girl child, you don't see. There's no any symptom. And so you can't tell that this person coming has received or has gotten HPV. And so the person, no. That is why we targeted age 9 to 14 years, because we assume and we presume and we think that from 9 to 14 years, the girl has not been introduced to any sexual encounter. And so that is the right time for us to be able to vaccinate this girl child, for the girl child to get protected for her life. And so we introduced the vaccine, and a lot of people, and so this African Week of Vaccination, we are trying to intensify the uptake of the HPV vaccination, where we are going to visit schools, we are going to our various health facilities, the outreach point, to educate people and girl child, people who were not able to receive at the time when we're doing the campaign. Probably they may not be at 9 years, they may not be in the age category. And so by now, we believe that they'll be aged, their date of birth has reached 9, or they are within the 14, and so we can still sell out the idea to them. It is for them to receive the vaccine for a lifelong protection. Because when you get the disease, the consequences on the disease is more higher than you getting protected now. And that is why we want to intensify the HPV campaign this time around.
Right, that's good to know. So this Mias Week celebration is under the theme "For Every Generation, Vaccines Work." And you've got some activities lined up. Doc, you take us through that?
Yes, so the campaign is what he has mentioned, that during the week. I just want to add a bit to what he said about the HPV. So the infection itself, you may not see anything. Some people will have the cauliflower-like lesions around their vulva, or sometimes the anal regions, warts. that's what we call genital warts. It can cause that. And for some people to, aside the cervical cancer, which is the main thing that we are trying to protect girls against, penile cancers are also caused by the HPV. Then oral and penile cancers, yes, cancer of the penis. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I didn't hear that before.
Yes, it also exists.
In Ghana?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, no, I'd heard about cervical cancer, of course, but penile cancer.
Yeah, the same organism that causes.
That
as well.
Right.
Then you have oral and throat cancers, also increased risk with the HPV infection. And so it is a protection that is important, not just for the girls, but eventually we know that if we have fewer girls carrying the virus, then they are also less likely to transmit it to the males who may not even be given the injection. So overall, the protection in the country against the HPV will increase. And that's why we think that it's important the girl children have their vaccination at this time. Now, like he mentioned earlier, during this period is intensification of the campaign. Some health workers will go to the various homes to check on the vaccination status of children. Aside the HPV, there are other vaccines that we give to children. So they'll check the maternal and child health record books. Those who are missing, they are going to recommend that they have the vaccine according to what their recommendations are. And then the education, like we're doing here in churches, in the various communities, markets, all these will be done to improve the knowledge and the awareness of vaccination and the need to have it. We also know that around this time and with the internet and all that, there are also some groups and people who are saying all sorts of things about vaccination. And so this is to reinforce the positive information that vaccination saves lives in Ghana. It is effective, it is free, and it is available. All the parents have to do, or caregivers have to do, is to ensure that their children are taken to the child welfare clinics to have not just their growth checked, but to also have the vaccinations that are needed to help to protect the entire family. If the children are vaccinated, it will protect not just them, but it will protect their parents. It will help to protect the grandparents, who is also another generation. So it protects everyone.
Everyone
yes, from the infections that could have killed them.
So this week, from Monday to Sunday, that's from 27th on Monday to Sunday, it's the whole week for vaccination. And so if you see the health officers coming around with a box, please don't lock the door. Open it up, and this is going to help your child. Or you can definitely, as the doc said, you can walk into any health facility and get that. So as we wrap up on this, any final thing, Richard, you want to add?
Yes, so I want to say that vaccines work.
Okay.
But when you look at the past years and now, you could see that we have reduced child mortality, especially our routine vaccine preventable disease.
What was the data like, and what's it looking now?
Yes, so in earlier on in the olden days, I mean, the 40s, you could realize that people, like Dr. Riley said from the beginning, people would intentionally give birth to 10, thinking that because some of them will die, I mean, if some die, some are left.
Okay.
And so let's give birth. But currently, people are giving birth by choice, and also with the aim that these children that we have given birth to, we need to protect them.
Okay.
And as a means, we are using the vaccination or the vaccine to protect them. And so we are protecting our children. And so vaccines really saves life. When you look at our children that are coming up these days, you realize that they are even healthier compared to our previous, when we were in class 6, they say, cellular disease, now we are almost like 13 diseases. And the children are receiving vaccines to cover all of them, which is also going to help. And then these vaccines that we are talking about, they are less effective, less cost effective.
Okay.
The cost involved, and then if it were to be an individual going to purchase it, it's more expensive than the government supporting to get these vaccines for the children free of charge, without you parents paying anything. And so it is good. It saves us, it protects us, it gives us the best protection that every child and adult will have to get as a country.
Right.
And by so doing, we are able to achieve what we call the herd immunity, within the country.
Right. Thank you very much for coming and helping us understand this. It's been a while I had a conversation about vaccines, though. So this, as you mentioned, is to reinforce the positives about vaccination. So African Vaccination Week, please take note of that. Take your child as well for the HPV, which is ongoing now for young women or girls between the age of 9 and 14 years. Very important. Dr. Hilda Mantebia Boy. Mantebia,
I have roots there, but I'm from OT region.
Okay,
Yes.
right. Thank you very much for coming. She's the president for the Pediatric Society of Ghana, and also Richard Yali is a public health officer, and thank you so much for coming. We're taking a break. When we come back, we're talking about who leads the NDC into the 2028 general elections. Professor Smart Sapon has put together a survey. We'll talk about that. Stay with us.
Finding the ideal property shouldn't be a daunting task. At MNC Properties, we believe everyone deserves a place to call home. That's why we specialize in providing affordable housing options under our flagship project, Fresh Property Joy, specifically designed for low and medium income earners. Our range of customizable homes includes 2 and 3 bedroom standard and executive options, all meticulously crafted using innovative interlocking brick technology. We understand the importance of simplicity and convenience in the acquisition process. That's why we have designed our procedures to be straightforward and hassle-free, offering flexible payment options tailored to your individual needs. In addition to our affordable homes, we proudly offer litigation-free lands for sale in vibrant and upscale communities that present the perfect opportunity to build your dream home. We are committed to making affordable housing a reality, providing you with the joy of owning a home that meets your budgets and aspirations. Whether you're looking to buy, rent, or invest, we've got you covered. Our service team is ready to assist you on 030-255-1917. MNC Properties.
As the days come and go, there's always shit. Let colleagues explore all the planetary bodies. Our mission is in Uranus to treat hemorrhoids, anal fistula, anal fissure, anal incontinence, hydradenitis suppurativa, using laser ligature for pain-free and speedy recovery. On Uranus Street, Accra, is Main Tuber Hospital and Coloproctology Center. Trust Uranus with us, and we will delight you. Visit Main Tuber Hospital today or call us on 0244 581 541.
Hello, my friends. My name is Kelkit Toothpaste.
Wow.
I was made to be gentle on your gum, but protected. I will protect your teeth from cavity, make your teeth whiter, stronger, keep your mouth fresh all day. And best of all, I'm strawberry flavored. So put on a smile and try me.
That's amazing.
Just try me. That's my job.
If you say so, jump on my brush. Makes your teeth stronger, chicky whiter, chicky stronger. Yay! You did it!
I'm glad you like your new toothpaste. Don't forget to brush both day and night.
Kelkits. Happy smile.
Hello, everyone. My name is Glorious, a Nigerian living in Ghana. We have an event coming up. It is called Cook Africa on AU Day, 23rd May 2026 at 9 a.m. prompt. It will be held at the Metro TV premises. It is an opportunity for us to invite all Nigerians that are living in Ghana and all Africans that are living in Ghana to come out on 23rd May 2026 you come to Metro TV premises to enjoy yourself from the test masters. We are going to offer you pepper soup, the best pepper soup you've ever taken. Isiewu, nkwobi, edikaikong, afang, bitter leaf, ewedu and gbegiri, amala, pounded yam, fufu, semo, wheat, assorted meats, assorted fish, and cow leg, bokoto. You are going to have the best you've never had before from the test masters. And we pray that you will not miss this day. It's on demo. Yara see young before. Yana young before a word you could send AU Day, 23rd May 2026, 9 a.m. prompt. Mbono miebi back Metro TV premises. Mbok mi bengen before. Iki ready one day. Iki ready one day. Love you guys. God bless you.
This is Cook Africa, where African food cooks African foods. I don't want to mention the food. I want you to tell me what the name of this food is.
In my country, we call it Chebugina. You people call it
jollof. You've been in Ghana for like how long now?
20 years.
20 years. So tell me, what are some of the things that you do here that you never experienced in Senegal?
The husbands take care of everything. So usually the wife, they are always in the house. They only take care of the house. You don't have to do nothing. It's the husbands that do it.
Mariam Abba didn't tell me this in so long a letter.
Sometimes you remove the skin. Sometimes when you don't remove the skin, it makes the oil pop it like this. But like you remove all the skin. So,
also, that push.
From finding your dream home to building a legacy for your family, the Homeowner Show has been your trusted guide.
How sure are you what you're getting is the right land? And it has to do with searches, land commission, checking social planning authority, checking everything to make sure that what you are buying is not a problem or a challenge-prone transaction.
The stress of even not owning a house and constantly coughing up to rent is a big issue.
Join me, Hannah Atiasi, and my distinguished panelists as we delve into exciting conversations. Season 3 of The Homeowner Show, every Saturday at 6 p.m., only on Metro TV. Don't just own a house, build a legacy for your family.
Okay, welcome back. Welcome back from the break. This is Good Afternoon Ghana, Friday edition of the show. Today is 24th of April, and we're getting into a conversation, very, very important conversation, because it borders on who is going to succeed President Mahama as flag bearer. I'm not talking about president, I'm talking about flag bearer for the NDC, because we know that the party is preparing for the elections later in the year. Already, we've seen some names come up. We've seen a few things going on around, but well, we'll wait to see how that goes. Professor Smart Sapon has put together a survey, and today he's going to break it down to us, the findings of this survey, and according to this survey, who is leading to become the flag bearer for the NDC and all of that. So you see that on your screen. We've seen the names pop up, the Vice President, Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman, and you see there General Mosquito in there, Johnson Esiedun Keta in there, the current Chief of Staff, Julius Debra. In fact, today is his birthday. Today is his 60th birthday, and so happy birthday to you, sir. And then you see the Education Minister, Haruna Idrisu, there, the Minister for Foreign Affairs, Samuel Kujeto Ablakwa, and the Finance Minister also in the conversations as to who becomes the flag bearer for the party. So these are some of the names we'll be looking at, but we'd ask Prof what names have come up, and then he will share that with us. So let's get into it, and then Prof will break it down to us so we understand the findings of his survey. Prof, good afternoon. Thank you very much for joining us here on the program. This is a very, very important one. In fact, anytime it comes to polls regarding who becomes a flag bearer, it's always a heated one. Yeah. Tell us about this research and how you came about it, you began it, what in fact always people ask about the data. What was the data used for this?
Right, so thank you, Desmond. Good afternoon to our cherished viewers. I do quarterly report. I call it the Citizens Perception Report.
Okay.
Yeah, I started last quarter of last year. This is the first quarter of this year. Hopefully, if God graces us with life, second quarter, third quarter accordingly. So I take issues of national interest and I look into them. One is this: who succeeds President John Dramani Mahama as the flag bearer or leader of the NDC? And then I have subsequent reports I'll be sharing with you. One is on standard of living, first quarter report. I have another report ready on unemployment, first quarter report. And then I have Galamsey status report. So those three are national interest issues that I did along with this. And because of time, we will not lump all of them together. We'll look at this.
In fact, today we actually pressed with a lot of time,
and then
so we'll
subsequently we can look at the others. So out of 16 regions, 8 of them were sampled.
So that's half?
That's half. So we have sampling from the Upper East, Northern, Bono East, Bono, Ashanti region, Northern, Western North, Western, and then Central. So because the sampling has excluded some of the regions, subsequently in the next quarter, we'll be looking at the other regions.
I was going to ask if there was a deliberate intention to do
usually
these regions.
We randomize. If you don't have the capacity to do all the system or the resources to do all the system, you try to select part of the whole. And that is what happened. So by way of scope, I said 8 regions randomly selected, and we did 100 constituencies, again randomly selected. And then we visited about 2,350 communities. In each constituency, we do minimum 3 communities, maximum 5 communities. And so we got about 2,350 communities visited. The period was just last week, 14th, Tuesday, and we ended last Sunday, so 14th to 19th of April. So it's a fresh information from the field. All in all, a total of 6,735 views constituted this analysis. And we have 2 major findings.
Right.
One is on what the general public says versus what the preference of the delegates also are. And the first point I want to note, which I've written here, is that the NDC delegates are more enthusiastic of the contest compared to the general public.
Well, that's not surprising.
Yes, it's not surprising at all. I am hopeful that as the time draws near and the conversation heightens, the general public will also get involved, and we would have a point where the level of enthusiasm will be the same. Now, it is an in-house internal game, and so I'm not surprised that the delegates are more enthusiastic about it. When you see this line, the red line is that of the NDC delegates. And then the blue bars are for the general public. So you see, generally, the enthusiasm level of the red line is above the blue bars. Those are the general conclusion. But then to the specifics, you see that general is still in the lead. His lead is confirmed by my report.
Talking about Johnson Esedun Ketia.
Yes. Yeah, so, okay, fine. So, so Johnson Esedun Ketia, his lead, as I've seen in other reports, is confirmed, followed by Honorable Haruna Idrisu, also doing very well, then followed by Honorable Eric Opoku, the Agric Minister. In fact, when you check the bar for the general public.
Mm-hmm.
Atuforsen is doing 10.1, Eric Opoku is doing 10. So in terms of the general public, Atuforsen Finance Minister is a little above the candidature of Eric Opoku. But when it comes to the NDC delegates, you see that Eric Opoku is doing 3rd. Then at the 5th position is Madam Gina Opoku-Agyeman, my professor. Then we have the Honorable Julius Debra doing 6th. The other, I came across 2 new names, and so subsequently to be included.
Right.
I called it Ada. The former mayor of Kumasi, Kojo Bonsu. And
Really?
then, oh yes. And then we have the Professor Joshua Alabi also. Names that
came out from
the delegates are also having some kind of preferences for. And so if they've not born the idea, they should try and bear the idea. Or perhaps we will see as the time goes, other names that will
come up in the mix. Very, very interesting one there, because talking about the chief of staff, because earlier we had seen a lot of movements around with his keep fit on Saturdays and moving up and down. So I am actually very it's intriguing to note that he actually comes up safe in there. Okay.
Yeah. I have done the data collection on 2 separate occasions. One was early.
Okay.
I'm reporting on the 14th to 19th one. But both the earlier one, which was kind of, I was testing my instruments.
Okay.
And this one I'm reporting in both. He isn't doing too good. But I mean, as I keep saying, the game is still very young. After all, they've not picked forms. They've not gone for vetting, blah, blah, blah. For all you know, they are reserving their energy for
later.
Later. But I mean, I think it's an advice, a good advice to say, if they would actually contest, then they should at least begin to
do all of that.
do all of those things. I take attention. I take notice of the level of undecided and the don't know.
Okay.
When you go to the general public, as good as 34.5% of the general public are undecided or don't know what is going on. But then only 17.7% of the NDC delegates are undecided. It tells you that it is their game. At this level, it is delegates level, and so they are into it.
They'll wait for the final moments to decide who they're going to vote for. Now, you've given us this data. Now, the reasons that people give, I'd want us to get to that because it's quite interesting.
Good. So, and let me say that this is unique as compared to what I have seen others do in respect of this conversation.
Okay.
They do not add the reasons behind the preferences that people are choosing. So I try to do that interaction as well. And you can see that some reasons are more than others. Some have more attributes to them than others. You can see that Seydou Nketia has some more reasons. Honorable Eric Opoku has some more reasons. Then you see Honorable Haruna Iddrisu and the rest, some reasons, but not too many as compared to the candidates. But let's start with the age factor. The age factor.
Okay.
General Seydou Nketia would be 72 by 2028. So in the minds of the delegates, some of the factors. So we have all these factors, including the age, playing out in the conversation. So that is a point to note as the delegates warm themselves up into the contest somewhere next year. Then you have Atuforsen, very young.
By 50 by August.
Yes. By 2028, August 2028, he will be doing his 50th birthday. And so if you check the attributes, you see he's young and vibrant, all those things. So the age factor and then what the other attributes are for the people who are going to decide. Then you go to Honorable Eric Opoku.
Quite a lot there.
Yes. By June 2028, he will be 58. And interestingly, he shares same age with Honorable Haruna Iddrisu.
Okay.
58, 58. If you should strike the average from the elderly ones, Honorable Seydou Nketia 72, Professor Gina Opoku-Agyeman 77 by 2028, they kind of ride in the average. Himself 58, Haruna Iddrisu 58, and you can talk about Mr. Julius Debra. So 62. You see the diagonal going there. You can say the ends of the right diagonals are very old Or, I mean, older people. The younger ones are in between. And then you see the average line, 58, 58, 62. So,
right. Prof, in all of that, I see very interesting reasons. I'm going to mention one of each. So for Johnson Asiedu Nketia,
right.
They say that he is very courageous.
Right.
For me, that is very interesting, very courageous, that people would want a leader like him who is very courageous. For Julius Debra, they say that he's already in the Jubilee House. He's already in the Jubilee House. That is interesting to note there. And then, for Haruna Iddrisu, there's one that says that because he can control all northern MPs. What do they mean by that?
Interesting. So I try, as a researcher, you try to refine, though you don't lose out exactly what they want to say, you try to refine the raw data and report them. But, I mean, some were as raw as because he's from the north. We are looking for attributes that would make your candidate sort of unique.
Right.
So I don't think some of these things should be the key reasons.
Right.
If he has control over the northern MPs, what are you saying? He can control the entire country. We are looking at the bigger picture. But I mean, it's raw responses from people we've tried to assemble. As for courageous, you and I know the level of courage that Asiedu Nketia carries.
Right.
So there are some pluses and minuses. He has a good reputation in the NDC. Lots of people speak about his good works. Honorable Eric Opoku, some good comments over there. Check here, good communicator, good communicator. Good communicator, but the rest have that attribute missing.
Okay.
And I think it's also a point to note. You can't be a good president without being a good communicator.
Right.
And then I think here is where I think General has taken the start. He has been here to visit us. So
he's been going around, so the people have met him.
Yes.
Right.
As we thank you, we also try to. So please, some people have taken the start, but all in all, these are some.
These
of
are the reasons. Let me ask a
that,
question, because most of them have appointments now.
Yes.
How does that reflect what people think of them if they could lead a party?
Right. So those in power now are limited to their sectors.
Okay.
And so you may have to, as part of the things you have to tell the delegates, tell them what you have done with your sector.
Okay.
If you are able to demonstrate success with your sector, then we can entrust the entire country into your hands. I'm sure it's going to play out as they engage the delegates.
Okay, right. So you see the vice president there. Of course, their work as the vice president would also have an influence.
Definitely.
And the finance minister, KC Atuforsen, doctor. And what people say that he's made the economy stable.
Absolutely.
That would be a key one there. The education minister also in there. The chief of staff is also in there. And the agric minister is also in there. So everybody has a role currently. And what they do now till then would have an impact on that.
Absolutely.
Right, that's interesting too.
And I'm sure they are very mindful of that. If they would actually go through the contest, they should be mindful of that.
That's interesting too.
Yes. There is the last bit, which I call the second finding, and I try to engage the delegates on what, and I call this equivalent effectiveness. That point is when you are almost getting close to the elections day, the day of decision.
Okay.
But you have affinity for maybe more than one person. There's no a clear-cut leader. Let's say you have 2 or 3 people who, for you, have demonstrated through their messages that they can do the job.
They can do the job.
If you have to choose one of the 3, what would be your further consideration? And you see these interesting findings. Some, as many as 83.7% are saying at that point, they would think that Central Region has had a fair share of the presidency.
Okay.
Northern, Eastern, very low percentage, though, Ashanti low percentage. I mean, high percentage of a presidency, but as for NDC candidates, we all know there hasn't been some from the Ashanti region, blah, blah, blah. This is the line. Candidates from other non-presidential regions must be considered for the presidency, and 82.9% are saying that. So this one is not about how you see the candidate or your current preference. Right. At the point where you get to equivalent effectiveness, where now it's not a clear leader, this person
so you're
is
looking
good.
for something extra
that person
that
is
will
good.
make you...
Yeah, everybody is good, kind of. What then will be the considerations you give for the final decision you take?
Okay.
And if this point is reached, then you can see that clearly, out of the current names we have,
you've mentioned,
then Eric Opoku, General Asiedun Ketia, and Mr. Julius Debra might be the key contenders for the race.
Okay.
Ato Forson is from the central region. Madam Jane Opoku-Agyeman is from the central region.
Right.
Haruna is from the northern region. And you can see that these are regions where it gets affected by some of these interactions and the outcomes when the equivalence of effectiveness point is reached.
Okay, so looking at this part, General Asiedun Ketia is from the Bunu region,
yes.
right? And Mr. Julius Debra
from the eastern region.
From the eastern region, and Honorable Eric
Opoku from the Ahafo region.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So people are thinking that they haven't had such persons from such regions.
Absolutely.
Being the flag bearer of the party,
Absolutely.
and so they may consider.
Absolutely.
So in that respect, you have these three names.
Absolutely.
Coming up.
And the names that might come up. For example, in the Ada, you see that when you get here, the Ada, one of them sponsored some delegates to China. So there are some other candidates who are also warming up from the base, and some have started engaging the delegates in some different forms.
Okay.
And so if they also happen to come from other regions that have not benefited a share from the presidency, the NDC level presidency, perhaps those regions can also be considered in the candidates that will be coming from those areas.
But I want to ask about the age.
Yeah.
The ages of the respondents,
Okay,
right?
Sure.
So that if you have someone who is a very young person, that person may have a different mindset as compared to a respondent who is older, 40, 50. What was the data like?
In fact, in the report, I stated that over 70% of the respondents were between the ages of 18 to 40.
Okay.
So it tells you that the general scope of my respondents were youthful, fairly youthful. Only about 20 to 30% were above the age of 40.
Right.
That is in the written report that I submitted. So those ones can be found in the written report.
Okay.
Very well.
That's good to see.
Yes,
but
yes.
for the delegates again, I want to ask about the influence of other things.
Right.
Other things of prior to the day where some generosity from the candidates come in, or as we've
they
noted,
call it TNT.
Yes, TNT and all of those things. Well, the questions about did you get such responses?
In fact, we are not at that point yet.
Okay.
As they inch towards the day, we will be reviewing some of these figures we are seeing today. Don't be surprised if it keeps changing.
It will change. Okay.
Because, this is at a point where virtually the other state officials have not gone down there yet. You can say it's only General Asiedun Ketia who is out there. So if they go, they engage one another, I will not be surprised if the numbers keeps changing in subsequent reports.
Okay.
Until we get close to the point where we can go into the predictive mode. When you get there, other factors that might influence, which you and I know, I'm sure can play out. And let's not forget that, we are in it. We know that the delegates have a certain mindset that perhaps if they finish with you after this race, they might not see you again.
Okay.
So they will be somehow expectant. It's been something we've been talking about, but like it or not, it's still very pivotal. Monetization of the system is still pivotal in contests like this. So I'm sure both the delegates and the potential aspirants are aware, and they are preparing some way, somehow, to meet the delegates halfway or full way.
Okay.
But when it gets close, we would factor that one. For now, it is general preferences for the various candidates.
Okay.
Some of whom they've heard from, especially Asiedun Ketia has spoken to some of them, but some of whom they've not even heard from. And the dynamics, the changes will occur as they listen to all of them.
Okay.
And then after listening to all of them, they will ask you the crackness, and you know that when it gets to the
so after all the talk, what are you saying? What's the end of that?
Then the TNT bits will come.
Comes in.
Those who have extra TVs to give. We are not saying these things because we support those things, but you and I know that some way, somehow, it will find its way it may find its way into the conversation.
Prof, we're going on till 2 because we love the information you have brought in, and so we're going to be asking a lot of questions. And then we can also open the phone line so that viewers can call in, and then we can hear from them. Maybe it can add up to the data that you're looking at. So now I want us to take individual by individual. Let's take Johnson Asiedu Nketia. This is a man who's been around for a very long time. What do you make of his transition? And in this case, I'd say that in the past years, we've known him to be very, very vocal. It got to a point where we weren't hearing so much of him. And then all of a sudden, we see nice flyers coming up on social media, wearing very beautiful outfits, moving from here and there on a thank you tour. Looks like he's engaging younger people. Let's talk about him and what he's doing so far. Is he giving a very clear signal that I want to contest and I want to be?
Where the confusion is for me is the absence of a clear indication whether or not he is going to contest the national chairmanship. That is where me as an observer from afar, that's where my confusion erupts.
Whether he's doing this for the national chairmanship position or for the flag bearer.
As for the flag bearership, we know he has some, but he's not taking himself off the national chairmanship too. So I don't know. I've not had the interaction with him, or I've not heard from any close affiliate to him, associate to him. But sitting afar as a political watcher, I see that's where the confusion is. Because I'm sure some delegates would also be eyeing him for national chairmanship, much as they think he is going for the presidency. If he should draw the line, the day he announces that, oh, as for the national chairmanship, others should take interest in it because I am not going, then we will know that the current situation is confirmed and that he's going to go full-time into the flag bearership. But like you rightly said, he has changed from the regalia outlook, the warlike general we know him to be, into
Yes. The vociferous Asiedu Nketia we know. Okay. Prof, I'd have to come in now, and then we would continue with your parts of the conversation. But one of the other things that I'd ask Prof is about, because we know it will be the NPP versus the NDC, all other ones who follow. And the NPP has voted Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia to lead the party. What are the reasons, or are there any reasons why these personalities will be chosen for the NDC in the case that Dr. Bawumia is standing for the NPP? And so they look at him like, okay, well, he's been there before as vice president. The NPP probably had a very, not so much goodwill, and so it would affect him. Or rather, well, he's gone there before, so he would have the experience to, do things better if he is voted into power. And so we'd have to pick someone who'll be able to counter him on that. So those are some of the other areas that we would also get into. But as I mentioned, we want to have your feedback also on this. Oh, we have a caller already from Wale Wale. Okay. Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. How are you?
Hello?
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Your name and...
my name is Mohammed Awolowo. I'm calling from Greater Wale Wale.
Right.
Yeah, I want to contribute to the program, but before that, let me thank the professor in your studio. And I've seen that he has made a very comprehensive analysis of the NDC flag bearership race. But however, we in the MPP, we don't care about whoever leads this group of Sankwas in government. Whether Asiedu Nketia, Haruna, or whoever, the competent, intelligent Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is going to beat them miserably. They are not going to see top. They should wait. This 56% of voter population with low IQ. Other than that, even your mama, no one can choose your mama over Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia.
Okay.
And we are going to show them the exit plan. They have already booked a place in opposition. They should prepare for it.
Okay.
Whether it's Nketia or whoever is coming. You know very well that it's about the economy. And we are going to prove to them that when we were telling them about digitalization in connecting with economy, they were outside to print whatever we are saying.
Right.
Now you see that
So let me just ask you, of course.
What have you? And that's talked about now advancing the economy.
I want to ask you, of course, no matter who, as you say, you believe the NPP would come back, but who would be a candidate that you'd want the NDC to choose so that Dr. Bawumia will beat him?
Oh, any of them that they choose, Dr. Bawumia is going to beat them. None of them is a match with Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia. You know it. The pedigree of Dr. Bawumia is a match. It's a fact.
Okay. Okay. Right, I can hear you. The pedigree of Dr. Bawumia is unmatched. Okay, right. So, so we're going to take a lot more of the calls, Prof. Yeah. So, from the NPP caller, he says that any of them who would represent the NDC on the ballot sheet, Dr. Bawumia will beat them. That's a question that I was going to ask because I was saying that Doc had gone before. He's vice president. He's gone through the system prior to the flag bearer election. Said that he wasn't fully in charge, and so now he wants to hold the steer by himself. Now, if you look at that and look at the names that have popped up for the NDC, what's the dynamics there?
Well, politics or elections is a fresh thing altogether.
Right.
It's become a lot of science. If you are tactical enough and you take advantage of the opportunities that comes your way, every election is winnable, every election is losable.
Okay.
But for political motivation's sake, you would hear comments like this. I'm sure when an NDC caller also calls, he will tell you that as for us, we don't care who the MPP brings, this, that. Those comments will come. But I want to caution that nobody is an eventual winner. Nobody is an eventual loser. One day at a time.
Okay.
You lose elections one day at a time, and you win elections one day at a time. The final day, December 7th, will just be an accumulation of the gains or losses you have made daily. So, yeah, when I hear those things, I get excited. I was like, yeah, fine, you have to give morale to your people. But check your actions and inactions daily. They add to you or they take away from you.
Okay. So we have agreed that General Mosquito Johnson Esedu Nketia has molded himself in a way that looks like he wants to contest for the flag bearer position for the party. Right. Let's talk. So the closest in that, as we see now, and we say today is his birthday, the chief of staff.
Yeah.
He has not exactly spoken.
Yeah, absolutely.
But he's been also going around. He's been talking a lot at events. I've seen him at a lot of seminars, a lot of conferences, having his own health walk thing. Even yesterday, some chiefs in Goma said that, well, if he is going to contest, we pray that he wins and becomes the flag bearer for the party. Let's talk about him and also what he's done so far.
Well, his office is kind of general, a supervisory office.
Right.
If he was to be in a university like ours, he would have been the registrar of the university. He will be taking everything and then serving it on to the president.
Prof, sorry to cut you. We have a caller from Pandai. Hi, good afternoon. Your name? What's your name?
It's Maxwell.
All right, Maxwell, please speak to us.
Okay, I want to also contribute to the program.
Hello?
Hello, I want to also contribute to the program.
Okay. Maxwell, please lower the volume of your set and speak to me on the phone.
No, I'm not by the set, please.
Okay.
I said I want to also contribute to the program.
Yeah. And so much, so please do well to call back. I'm not unable to hear you. So, Prof, at this point, I may be interrupting to pick some of the calls. So, Julius Debra, you were saying, yeah.
He takes, organizes things for the president and everything. So, what I am saying is that he needs to, beyond what he's been doing so far, get down to the people. And his position is kind of similar to the rest of them.
Okay.
With the exception of General Esedu Nketia, who is kind of freelanced. He is not a state official and so can go anywhere at any time. The rest of them have some scheduled tight ones at the office to also do. And I'm sure that is why most of them, the finance minister, the Honorable Eric Opoku, the agric minister, and Honorable Haruna have not been out there engaging like we see General Sedin Ketia do. So, yes, for now, these comments are coming based on the absence of he has not spoken. We don't know what he brings on board. So the people who are cheering for him think that once he is closer to the sitting president, it puts him in a position that, some, like Riley says, some says he's already in the Jubilee House. We want somebody to go to the Jubilee House. The person is already there.
We have a caller on. Yeah. Hello, good afternoon. Your name and where you're calling us from?
My name is Sethi Shabashi. I'm calling from Nima.
Oh, right. Sethi, please go ahead.
You see, the issue about who leads the NDC in the next general election, it is not so important to the people of Ghana. What the people of Ghana are enjoying now is the goodwill of the current president. And because of what happened during the 8 years of the past regime and how businesses suffered and other issues that went against the New Patriotic Party, and even their internal issues has not been resolved. Even though we don't know who will lead the NDC now, but politically, I don't think Ghanaians are more interested in who will lead NDC now. What Ghanaians are interested in now is whether the promises that President John Mahama gave to the people before the election is being fulfilled. And looking at the...
No, I was going to ask a question, but you go ahead.
Are striving. People are not complaining. The security in the nation is calm. We have a listening government that, irrespective of, we have a listening government that anything that happens and civil society organization call on him, they listen to them. So these are the major things that Ghanaians want. Okay. But as to who will lead the NDC in the next general election, is going to be a Herculean task for even an MPP who is going to be led by Nana Bawumia to defeat.
I was going to
come and the cycle.
If you say that it is not needed, I mean, you're talking about a government led by President John Dramani Mahama. You're saying that Ghanaians are enjoying all that. It would take another leader who will be able to lead for you to decide that this is a person who can actually do that. So it's very important.
What I'm trying to say is that, you see, okay, we all...
Okay. I think... Okay.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead. There's a next caller, so please just go ahead so that we
okay, you see, we all know the performance of the New Patriotic Party.
We all know...
No, okay, we know the performance of the New Patriotic Party during the 8 years.
Okay.
So if you are comparing the politics of the NPP during the 8 years and the current administration, who has just done 1.5 years, this is comparatively, we all know the economic freedom that the people are enjoying.
Okay.
And it will be very, very difficult for NPP to defeat any candidate that the NDC will bring.
So thank you very much. Thank you very much for calling. A very interesting perspective there. I definitely understand. But again, a government is led by a person, and the decisions of that person would determine whether the government stays in or not. Yeah. And so, as President Mahama leaves, there needs to be another person who can take over, and you need to be able to entrust whether Ghanaians think that the NPP or the NDC has done well, and so we'll vote for the NDC. There still has to be a leader who take charge.
So this morning I was doing a similar conversation on your sister station TV3. Someone was saying, President Obama said, let's build strong institutions and not individuals. But my view is that, let's not take it like that. The individual who leads that institution determines the strength of the institution.
Right.
So it's not about the institution is strong, the institution is strong. You need strong individuals as well to manage the institutions.
Right. Let's talk about Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman. She's also been she's been moving around
absolutely
a lot, doing well. Drawing. I see that says that she can draw in a lot of women.
Absolutely.
In fact, she's the only woman that comes up in this particular race.
And then she's been vice president, so she can be president.
Okay.
I think what might affect her in terms of the other issues will be if we reach the point of equivalent effectiveness and Central have enjoyed president, vice.
Yes,
it might affect her, and then additionally, maybe if people begin to consider her age and those things.
Let's do our final caller. Hi.
Yes.
Good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, your name?
My name is Yebua, and I'm calling from Hachu.
Right, Yebua, go ahead.
Yeah, I want to contribute to the program.
Go ahead, please.
Okay, I want to thank the resource person for a humorous job that he's doing. But then I have an issue with the type of government that we are implementing today, because seriously, all these schools, when the day comes that they are going to vote, you see that the best buyer will win. That is when you hear people supplying bicycles and motorbikes and all those things. So in Ghana, in our country, I don't think these pools win, or the issues of the pool that comes out is ultimately what is going to happen. But then the highest bidder normally wins sometimes.
Okay, right. Thank you very much, Yebua, for calling. That'll be all for the calls this afternoon. So he brings a perspective that we're talking about. It's been one that we hope that it's taken out of our politics, but the truth is that it will find itself one way or the other. And many people have that thought that, well, politics is about the highest bidder, and so whoever has the highest money and could pay the delegates or give them something, that's the person who is going to win. Well, we have 5 minutes to go.
All right.
So, Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman, because of the age, it may be some respondents think that it will not be too good.
Yeah, but I mean, some too may think that General 72, this one 77, and so. And I mean, some people.
Former President Akufo-Addo was at the time he
may
came
be
in.
a factor or may not be a factor for some people. So not to. What I see is that, with the exception of the top three, the General, Haruna, and then Eric Opoku, the rest who are down there should work hard not to allow some of these advantage or reasons go against them. They need to do more. If you are at the top, I'm not saying General should go and relax, because people are now warming themselves into the game. And it will not surprise me if the numbers keep changing. What I'm saying is that it's still very young. As I said, it's open. Let them all go engage the people. And to respond to the last caller, what I think is that, yes, money and gifts and those things do influence. But again, if they like you, they like you. If they like you, somebody may pay more than you. It will affect the quantum of your win. If you're expecting to win like maybe 50%, it can shrink it to, let's say, 40. But largely, the money and the gifts become supplementary.
Okay.
The people who actually like you, and they would want to vote for you. Only that they don't want to vote for a Chisel. You see, show some love. And once you show some love, you will win. Not only because you paid. There's been this debate going out, and my position as a researcher and a political scientist is that don't wait and say I have money, and that on the D-Day, my money will do the deal for me. Get to the people, build relationship with the people. Talk to them, let them understand you, let them get the opportunity to ask you questions, respond to them, relate with them. If you do all these things and you don't take money, maybe you'll be affected. But after doing all these things and building and gaining their trust, if you add something small, which I'm not encouraging, but it will definitely come. I'm not the one saying it, they do it. We talk about it, they do it. And you ask, and then it will enlarge your chances of winning. So it's not entirely the case that don't do any campaign, don't convince the people, don't relate well with them. Just get the money and they will vote for you. No, I don't buy into that.
For those who probably tuned in later and did not see the first one, we're wrapping up in 2 minutes. Let's go to the very first on the other side. So that is the general public versus the NDC delegates preference. So take us through that again in a minute, and so that we can wrap up, knowing that these are the findings that you have found, and that we just
absolutely. So, like the second caller also said, currently the general public are not too enthusiastic about the contest. And you can see that the NDC delegates line red at all points is above the blue.
Okay.
That is conclusive in support of what he said. But for the NDC delegates who are interested, their first preference as at April 2026 is General Asiedu Nketia. Second preference, Haruna. Third preference, Eriko Poku. Fourth preference, Ato Forsen. Fifth preference, Jane Nana Opoku Ajimai. Sixth preference, Julius Debra. And we have some others who are warming themselves into the game.
Right. Prof, thank you so much for coming in this afternoon. Professor Smart Sarpong is a research and political analyst from the Kumasi Technical University. And so we'll go on and see, as the months come by, who becomes the flag bearer for the National Democratic Congress ahead of the 2028 general election. Of course, they need a new person to lead the party. Many thanks for watching the program. My name is Desmond Okrekudanswan. We came to you live from our studios here at Northridge in Accra. Bye-bye.
Threescore ago, a child was born. It was an ordinary birth of an ordinary baby by ordinary citizens of Ghana. But after 60 years, the life of that child that was born is nothing but, or has been nothing but extraordinary. He has now become an exceptional Ghanaian, an extraordinary leader, and a truly eminent citizen in the Republic of Ghana.
Onto nanano abampimfo a wabɛka yɛn ho asraafo a wɔbɔ yɛn ho ban. Ɔyɛ yɛ chief of staff Owura Julius Debra a nyame ɔde afeko aka n'afe ho na ɔrebɛyɛ adɔyɛ ama Village of Hope orphanage. Ne obia na sebi odudamu mmere na ɔyɛ damu adɔyɛ na senyame akana kuma wehu dɛ ne mma ne nuanom sebi wonyi bi wonam wonyi bi wejan wonyi bi wonwa be Village of Hope na ɔbɛyɛ damu adɔyɛ na nyame insha no nton supengo no do na dwimpa ni susuyɛ ni daesu biara ɔmbre mu yankopɔn hyam na ɔnka mu inara manisidam.
We are excited for many reasons. But one of the main reasons why we are excited is because of the life he has lived and the impact he has made. Virtues that he has exhibited, which every human being should endeavor to inculcate. Dedication, commitment, hard work, loyalty, and respect.
For those of us who worked with the Chief of Staff, one thing about him is that he thinks about everybody else before himself and cares about what happens to everybody around him before thinking about himself. So it wasn't a surprise when he told us that I'm not going to be in Ghana, but before I celebrate my birthday, I want to share with children. So today is just a day of celebration. He says, be happy, enjoy the day on his behalf, even though he's not here. To the children, I was sitting next to one